This is how Gotham looks like in The Batman, directed by Matt Reeves. And this is how Gotham looks in the critically acclaimed movie The Dark Knight, directed by probably the most successful director in 20 years, Christopher Nolan. Do you see the difference between the two? Exactly. The Dark Knight's Gotham doesn't even look like Gotham because Nolan never truly understood Gotham. But why is that? In his whole career, Nolan has given us multiple amazing movies with even better world building. So why does his Gotham look less of a gothic city right out of a comic book and more of just a generic city with skyscrapers? And most of you might think, why does it even matter? I mean, as a whole, the Dark Knight trilogy was good, amazing even. It gave us a really solid story, amazing action sequences, and probably the best villain ever, Joker.
I don't want to kill you. You complete me.
So why does it matter if Gotham looks generic and soulless? But think about it for a moment. Imagine if someone made a perfect Spider-Man movie, but New York barely mattered. The city is just buildings or a background. No random guy yelling,
Okay, Spider-Man, don't flip. Yeah!
and no people that make Peter Parker feel like he's fighting for something real. It wouldn't feel like Spider-Man anymore, right? When you think about the Dark Knight trilogy, what's the first thing that comes in your mind? It can be the Joker.
Because it's all part of the plan.
It can be the amazing looking Batmobile or the bike that comes from inside the Batmobile. It can be its action sequences or its story, but it is never Gotham. And it matters because the city isn't just where the story happens. The city is the story. I mean, it is probably the best part in Matt Reeves' Batman. Bruce Wayne became Batman because Gotham failed him. Its criminals ruled the streets. Batman isn't fighting aliens. He's fighting the city itself. In The Batman, the moment the movie starts, you already understand Gotham. It's raining. Everything looks dirty. The street feels dangerous. Even normal people look tired. The city feels sick. Batman isn't just living there. He's trapped in that city. Now if you compare that to Nolan's movies, most of the time it just looks like Chicago. Because honestly, it is. Chicago was the city the movie was shot at. A normal city with Batman standing in it. That's the difference. Batman's stories work because Gotham doesn't feel real. It feels cursed, almost haunted. You should feel uncomfortable just looking at it, even before a villain appears. In the comics, every building looks strange. Every alley feels dangerous. The city almost feels alive. That's why most of Batman's villains seems like they're ripped right out of a horror movie. I mean, can you imagine Clayface or Man-Bat existing in Nolan's Gotham? It just feels unreal. The atmosphere doesn't allow them to exist. It sounds weird. It feels too realistic. And realism can work sometime, but it isn't always better. In Game of Thrones, nobody questions the dragons because the world was built for them. It is fantasy. Nolan built a world that rejects fantasy. So Gotham stopped feeling like Gotham. No matter how good and well written Batman's villains are, be it Riddler or Joker or Bane, they are not his greatest enemy. His greatest enemy has always been Gotham. Every time Batman wins, the city creates another villain. The city never gets better. That's the tragedy. Batman isn't trying to win. He's trying to slow Gotham's collapse. That's why he can never sleep. In Nolan's trilogy, Batman defeats Scarecrow, Joker, Bane, and at the end of it, the city almost feels safe. Like Batman completed a game or something. And shit, by the end of it, he even retires, which technically goes against everything Batman stands for. Batman doesn't retire because Gotham is fixed. Batman keeps going because Gotham never heals. Because Gotham doesn't fear Batman enough.
Whoa. Police action.
Most people forget that Batman isn't supposed to be a superhero first. He's supposed to be a myth. In his year 1, criminals don't even know what Batman is.
The hell are you supposed to be?
Some people think he's a monster or a demon. That's why criminals panic when the lights go out. Batman wins before throwing a punch because fear is his weapon. In Nolan's Gotham, on the other hand, people recognize him immediately. He's almost treated like a police officer, just wearing expensive armor. The fear disappears, and when Batman stops being scary, he stops feeling like Batman.
I'm Batman.
He's not Superman. Superman makes cities hopeful.
Everybody okay?
Gotham is not supposed to be hopeful. Gotham makes Batman darker. The city changes him every night. Matt Reeves' The Batman show it perfectly. In the beginning, he's not even Batman. He's
Vengeance.
But by the end, he realizes vengeance isn't enough. The city changes him bit by bit. In the Dark Knight trilogy, Bruce changes mostly because of his villains, be it Joker or Bane. But Gotham itself, it almost feels passive. The city should constantly challenge Batman. That's what Batman is fighting for, not just defeating the villains at the end. So why does Nolan's Gotham look so generic? It mostly comes down to his directing choices. Christopher Nolan wanted Batman to exist in our world. He wanted him to feel real and grounded, which is not bad by any means. I mean, he did give us some of the best Batman stories in his Gotham. It's just that it lacks personality. You could recognize it in the first glance. Nolan's Gotham changes every movie. It never develops an identity. That's why people remember his villains, or his story, or his action sequences. But a very few people remember Gotham, and that's a problem. Because in a Batman story, Gotham should always be a main character. In the end, does that make his movies bad or Christopher Nolan a bad director? Absolutely not. I think he makes some of the best movies in general, and to be honest, he's my personal favorite. But I just don't think that he made the greatest Gotham. He created amazing characters and story. He tried to do the world building of Gotham, but somewhere along the way, the city lost its soul. But that's just my opinion. But what is your opinion? Write it down in the comment section. Drop a like if you enjoyed and subscribe if you don't want to miss my latest videos. Thanks for watching.